As I listen to their conversation, I feel a strange churning in my gut. Something's not right here. A voice whispers from deep within, deeper than reason. I played the conversation back in my head and soon realized the source of my discomfort. The Fires I knew had never been to an official RightNet tournament. And yet now she's about to compete in the tournament finals. Which means she's been going to tournaments for a while. Okay, that's a change. So maybe it's not in relation to her father, but going to RightNet battles? Or is it both? Is this a change that Fires wanted to make? Considering the recipient was her father, maybe he was strict and wouldn't let her go to the tournaments. But is that a reason to change the past? Fires is only 17 years old. It's not too late for her to start participating in tournaments. If there were an age limit to RightNet tournaments, that would be one thing. I guess it was just that important to her? At that moment, someone knocks on the door. The door opens halfway and a middle-aged man appears. Okay. That's her father for sure. I never said anything about Jin-chan ramen. Is it good? Oh my god. What kind of... Okay, I unless you guys can correct me on this, but I get the feeling this confirms it, that if we go into a new world line, it's not just the changes that we make, but there are also some random changes sprinkled here and there that we would surely have no control over it whatsoever. So we are going in a timeline where it's both changed because of our actions, but at the same time random changes here and there. But if that's the case, how would we be even to determine like this sort of stuff? I don't know.
失礼。ルミホ、少しいいかね。
Fires quickly gets up and leaves the room.
ぐはー、フェイリスタンのお父様か。挨拶しておかないとまずくね。
フェリスちゃんのパパさんって社長さんなんだよね。すごいな。
Fires soon returns. Then she turns to us and puts her hands together in a gesture of apology.
ごめんにゃ。フェイリスはパパと出かけなくちゃいけなくなっちゃったにゃ。それじゃあ、マユシーたちはこれでバイバイさせてもらうね。
フェイリスタン、僕とのお手合わせは手取り足取りライネットの何たるかを抗議してくれるっていう約束は？
誰もそんな約束してないと思うにゃ。
ええ、そうですとも。言ってみただけだからな。
ダルくん、フェリスちゃんを困らせたらダメなんだよ。ほら、オカリンも帰ろう。
ああ。
そういえば、京馬はやけに静かだったにゃ。どうかしたのにゃ？
いや、秋葉を高みから見下ろし、越に入っていただけだ。
さすがオカリン、意味不明なり。
Farius, her dad, and their brother see us off. Her dad tells us to come visit again. Farius' dad seems like a cool guy. He's not pompous like you expect rich people to be. The sun is setting, but there's still a crowd in front of Akiba Station. More foreigners than usual. People come from all over the world to buy electronics and otaku goods in Akiba. It looks like the satellite is attracting some as well. Man, it's hot. Less than a minute outside and I'm already drenched in sweat. Fires' air-conditioned apartment was a little slice of heaven. I love air conditioning in the lab, but we don't have that kind of money. Anyway, How about some food? I turn around to ask Daru and Mayushi what they think. Mayu is not there. Where did she go?
あれそういえば消えてる。
Did Stardust's handshake activate again? I scan the area. And there she is, walking casually towards the station. She's already about 50 meters away. I chase after her. Mayuri, I swear to God, have your parents never taught you to maybe, like tell people around you, hey, I'm going in this direction, I'll be back in a jiffy or something like that. Don't just leave your friends hanging like that. That's dangerous.
マユリ、どこ行く？
おかり。マユシーはこれからお家に帰るんだけど、中野に寄っていこうと思って。
Okay, well, tell us before we walk away, Jesus.
帰るなら帰るとなぜ言わんのだ？
ごめんね。でもね、中野に行かなきゃって考えてたらね、そのことで頭がいっぱいになっちゃったのです。
マユシの気配を消していなくなる能力は異常。
Marie does this a lot. She just wanders off without saying anything. Yeah, it happened like a bunch of times. Actually, I think only just... Was it just once, like at the beginning? When she was looking for the Upa? And just like Daru said, you never notice she's gone. So when you turn around to look for her, it's like she vanished into thin air. Stardust's handshake and sneaking fade. Why did her powers have to be so annoying?
そもそも中野に何の用があるのだ？
You're all a bunch of goofballs.
昨日アイソードの同人誌が出たんだ。
エロ？
でもね、絵師さんは甲賀由衣さんなんだよ。マユシーは久々に本気出さなきゃって思って。
Daru, why do you expect like Mayuri of all people to go looking for porn like magazines and such? I mean, Jesus Christ, you porn-rotted monkey.
へえ、甲賀由衣か。去年のガンバムのキャラデザっしょ？
そうだよ。
僕の分も買っといて。
わかった。
おいおい、お前たち何を言っているんだ？同人誌ならば虎の穴が目の前にあるではないか。
Daru and Mayuri stare at me blankly.
目の前ってどこ？
いや、目の前は目の前だ。あそこに。
I follow my pointing finger. Tora no Ana isn't there.
俺？
I rub my eyes and blink several times. It doesn't help. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. I check up and down the street, but no, it's nowhere to be found. Okay, try this. You look in the direction of where this place is, and then you do like a 360. See if that helps. And what's more, I can't find Animate either. It's supposed to be right next to Tora no Ana. Oh, fuck. Okay. Now, on first glance, I would think that this is a random change that we have that we had nothing to do with, but clearly it may be something to do with it, because if I am to think about that it has something to do with her father, something along the lines of, hey, make sure you spend more time with your daughter, don't forget about her, or something like that. He would mean that Faris' father would occupy less time in doing like anime entertainment related business, which would mean less stores than they originally were. Oh my god, Matthias' change has changed the anime culture in this place. That's huge, actually. Instead, I see electronic stores. Daiichi Kaden and T21 Minami. Never seen them before in my life. Oh my god, I wonder if that's... I don't know if it has something to do with the food, but I wonder if that's also why... that's why Kurisu was confused about Jin-chan ramen. Maybe now we live in a world line where Jin-chan ramen doesn't even exist because of Faris' father, imagine. In which case, that too would no longer be a random change that we had nothing to do with. That too would have something to do with it. I remember Mr. Braun saying that Akiba used to have a lot more electronics shops. Many of them closed. I think Daiichi Kaden and T21 Minami were among them.
虎の穴もアニメイトも一体どこへ行ったのだ。
それはひょっとしてギャグで言っているのか？
は？
秋葉には虎の穴もアニメイトもないよ。だからマユシーは中野まで同人誌を買いに行くのです。
Well.
ないってどういうことだ。昨日までは普通にあったよな。
What about earlier today? I wasn't really paying attention on the way to Fais's apartment, but I'm pretty sure they were still there.
だからないって。そもそもそういう萌えショップが秋葉にあるわけないじゃん。萌えの聖地といえば中野だろ、上皇。
中？
秋葉の方が萌えの聖地としては世界規模で有名ではないか。
ついに暑さでおかしくなったか、オカリン。秋葉は電気街。萌えショップができようもんならマニアどもが暴動を起こすレベルだお。
This feeling again. Dissonance. My memories don't match reality. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I get the feeling that there was some details that were sprinkled here and there, like at the beginning, when it comes to Mr. Braun and his shop. And something along the lines of how maybe electronics are not doing as great because of the moe culture and all the stores that are replacing, like, the electronic stores. Are we gonna find out that now Mr. Braun is rich in this world line? The past has changed. Part of me knows what has happened. But I still can't help but ask.
マンダラケは？
ないよ。
秋葉王は？
それは普通にあるっしょ。
同人誌を売ってる秋葉王国のことだ。
なんぞそれ。
秋葉王で同人誌が売ってるの？
それはないわ。いくらなんでも無理があるわ。
Okay, you two are useless at this point right now. Okay, Rintaro, we gotta think. What do we do next?
ゲーマーズは？ラムタラは？
They shake their heads.
メロンブックスは？アソビットシティは？
And they look confused. Yeah, nothing. Gone. Assume that a lot of shops that you've known are basically gone at this point. I mean, that's kind of... that surely would blow your mind. Realistically. So basically, I swallow hard. I finally understand. It's hard to believe, but I must face the truth.
この町の混沌が 薄らいでいる。
Every last store that sold anime, eroge, or moe goods has disappeared from Akiba. In a final desperate attempt to deny reality, I ran to Meikui in Nyan plus 9 at a power 2, the maid cafe where Mayuri and Faris work, and which Daru and I frequent. But upon arriving at the storefront, I'm forced to my knees in abject defeat.
ない。
You maniacs! Damn you! Damn you all to hell! I had to, I guess. It's all gone. It's not just the Moe stores. Even the maid cafes have disappeared. What in the world did Faris do? Okay, so am I to assume that Faris is not even doing like maid-related, Moe-related stuff? I guess so. So am I to assume that, okay, in the previous role line, the father was also in the whole Moe business? Or is it that Faris herself has influenced the Moe culture in Akiba a lot herself? Because it kind of depends in this role line. Either, like, the father decided, fuck this Moe culture crap, I'm gonna make this Akiba a little bit more electronically advanced or something like that, and thus threw that away. And that would include Faris into the mix, because she's no longer gonna be into the whole Moe stuff and such, and probably spending more time with her father or whatever. That, or like, it's not the father but Faris herself, because of priorities in life with the father, that she decided to not involve herself in like the Moe like whatsoever. So she wouldn't even have like a maid cafe or whatever around here. Although I don't know if I can talk about Faris as if she is that involved, like some sort of manager. I don't think that she has that kind of power. I think it has to do with the father's decisions in life that has led to this.
マユリ、お前、メイクインで働いていたよな。
Oh god, okay. And now we're gonna find out that she doesn't even work at a maid cafe. Or at the very least a maid queen. I don't know. Like, would that influence Mayuri's decision in life to work at a maid cafe to begin with?
メイクインって何かな。じゃがいも。
メイクインニャンニャンだ。
I asked Daru too, but no reaction.
マユシーがバイトしてるのはルモアンヌだよ。
What is that?
ルモアンヌ、それはメイド喫茶か。
普通の喫茶店。
Okay.
秋葉にはメイド喫茶は一軒もないのか。
ねえよ。秋葉に来る人間はそういう萌えビジネスとか毛嫌いしてんだから誰も寄りつかないって。
Really? I mean, okay, let's not go too far. Like, yeah, sure, maybe the father is into was into Moe business and all that, but it's not as if like the entire city is like devoid of Moe culture. It's a Japan thing. It's not a like there should be like stores that come out of outside of Akiba that would that would be sprinkled here and there. It's not as if anime is like an entirely foreign thing around here, right? Yeah, this has to be the result of Faris' D-mail. The butterfly effect is at it again. Faris said she had influence over Akiba's development board. They adopted her plan and embraced the Moe industry. Okay, so yeah, she... Not necessarily... I guess, would you consider Faris a manager as well? Over the development board? Yeah, So, it was entirely her the father had nothing to do with like the Moe business prior. It is Faris that influenced the father. Hey, can we make this place more Moe? I was like, sure, I guess, or something like that. But by sending an email to 2000, the role line has shifted to one where that never happened. Occupy is still electronics all the way. To think that a single mail could rewrite 10 years of town's history. Like, what was Faris even thinking? Is it okay to change history on a whim like this? I mean... Christ, like, thinking about it in retrospect... Was Faris truly so believing in that Rintaro would have a time machine that she would immediately think, oh yeah, this is totally real? Or was she fucking around? Was there like any part of her that was thinking, this must be like some joke, so might as well humor him? Because maybe she has been thinking in the past, well, what if this happened in 2000 instead of that? Or something like that. And she reflected that in her email and was like, you know what, why not? Let's do this. Or was she truly like accepting of the fact that, oh fuck, he has a time machine. Now's my chance to finally change things. Cause if so, that's Faris, you I swear to God. Like, think about the repercussions of what you just did, girl. I almost feel guilty about it. But since I'm the only one who remembers the original Akiba, nobody can blame me. No, in which case, Rintaro, the only thing that we can do is just go to Faris and talk to her, talk about her history, talk about her father and all that, to a point where we realize, okay, so in the past world line, this is the kind of email that Faris would send to her father. Because we're never gonna know. We're never gonna see that email like ourselves, but the only thing we can do is deduce what she wanted in life, and it's not like I can change it back. But still, wonder what did Faris' email say? I mean, honestly, I blame you, Rintaro and Kuriso, for rushing the things like that. The next morning, I go for a stroll through the streets of Akiba. What I discover is that, although the chaotic energy familiar to me has receded, Akiba is still occupied at its core. The few electronic stores that I used to frequent are still here. In fact, they multiply. You can still hear their loud theme songs and the cries of salesmen all the way from the sidewalk. Electronics otaku and PC maniacs walk the streets with unkempt hair, wrinkled throats and eyes burning with intense purpose. I mean, we are, like, this is like the era of the internet nonetheless, with forums and all that. My question is, would Daru still be like an otaku, like, anime freak? I would assume so. I mean, this is just Akiba, this is not the entire internet or anything like that, so he would still be like an anime, like, guy and all that. But who knows, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he is even more of an electronics freak as well. The maids and young female otaku have disappeared, but the hobbyist essence of the town is unchanged. I admit it's a relief. Yesterday I heard from Mayuri how we met Faris on this world. I was wondering, since May Queen no longer exists. It was at a small Rainet tournament at a toy store in Ikebukuro. When we went to cheer on Daru, but he dropped out because of stomachache, so Mayuri and I ended up taking his place. Our opponent was Faris. We got crushed, needless to say, but Mayuri says that Faris was very gracious and gave us advice on how to play. That was the beginning of their beautiful friendship. Our past has changed considerably, yet we still ended up with the same close relationship we had on the last world line. Fascinating. Alright, well, you know, that is indeed a relief. Our relationship hasn't changed, I guess. Maybe Lady Luck is looking out for us, for now. What is it, Kuriso? We're watching you. Huh. Well, Rintaro, it seems that the organization is after you. I cannot help you anymore.
なんだこれ。
Okay, for a split second I thought there was a red button that somebody was gonna press and something is gonna go kaboom, but this feels a lot more fucked up than that. Because, okay, I see a plate of jelly, but this isn't the first time that we've been talking about jelly in recent days, so I feel like that is a threat, Rintaro. That is a huge threat. Is this a prank? Spam? Nah, that is not spam. Why red gel? Who's watching me? What's going on here? I spin around, searching the crowd. A few passers-by look at me strangely. Is there a time organization, like, in another plane of existence that is watching over us? Is this like one of those, like, time organizations that I keep hearing about from, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I don't care. Something's wrong. Goosebumps break out over my body.
機関か。それともセル。
Great. Now we're gonna have to look around, see if there's like any Owen Wilson like in the crowd looking at us. If so, then the smell is a threat. My pulse skyrockets. Shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. What do I do? Do I tell someone? Who? I can't involve anyone. It's a prank. It has to be. Ignore it. What if it's serious? Are the men in black coming? Dead. They'll erase me. Erase us. Should I call the police? No. Not enough evidence. You know, I love that that Rintaro is so paranoid, so suspicious of the organization and all that. Although he hasn't made the connection of the gelatin to like what I was talking about before, because otherwise he's gonna drop dead, like from connecting the dots on that front as well. If he were to do so, what do I do? What the hell do I? The thoughts spin inside my head. Every pedestrian looks like an enemy. I flee from the crowd. After I manage to calm myself down, I head back to the lab. For now, I write that mail off as a prank. It's still early. Well, I guess it's actually noon. But Mayuri, Kurisu, and Lukako are already at the lab when I return. I greet them, trying to keep the anxiety out of my voice.
お盆休み期間の日曜日だというのに、ずいぶん暇そうだな、ラボメンガールズよ。
Obon week. Whoa. A Japanese... Oh, wait. I haven't read that. A Japanese holiday during which people return to their hometown to see parents and relatives. This includes paying respect to family members who have passed away by visiting and cleaning their graves. Okay. Formerly known as Mobile Jacket Gundam, a seminal work of robot anime. The first series aired in the late 1970s, and there have been many sequels and spin-offs since. Go.
あ、岡部さん、お邪魔してます。
Hi.
おかり、おはよう。
The two cute high school girls waved to me in greeting. By the way, one of these girls is actually a boy. As far as we know. In any case, the sight warms my heart. Or would, if not for a certain assistant who just gives me a bored look before going back to reading.
何をしているのだ?
Mayuri and Lukako are sitting next to each other on the sofa, reading a book together. It looks like a cosplay photo album. Okay, good. Well, at least you two are still have like that cosplay love.
昨日ね、中野に同人誌を買いに行くって言ったでしょ。 その時にね、とっても可愛いレイヤーさんの同人写真集を見つけたんだ。
Ah, yes, Nakano. The golden city of Moe culture, I guess.
だからね、つい衝動買いしちゃったの。ほら見て、ルカちゃん、これブラチューのセドナコスだよ。作り込みすっごいな。すごく可愛いよね。
Bloodtune? A popular TV anime based on a manga. 26 episodes were broadcasted last year. The main heroine, Seira Orgel, is especially popular among anime otaku. Can't say that rings it like any bell.
わあ、ほんとだ。
I see. She's showing it to Lukaku as part of his re-education. To think that he was so reluctant to get involved in cosplay. Looks like Mayuri's persistence has paid off. Is it because of the sex change? Because of the gender change? As a girl, Lukaku would be more comfortable cosplaying with Mayuri? Is that it? Actually, judging by his obvious interest in the full album, maybe he was always interested in cosplay. Just too shy to cosplay himself.
ねえねえ、クリスちゃんも見てみてよ。感動しちゃうんだから。別にいいわ。
Looks like Lisa's not interested in the photo album. She just gives a cold. Instead, she's reading a difficult-looking English book. Damn it, this is no time to be showing off your intelligence. You're going to make Mayuri cry if you talk to her like that. Leave Kurisu alone. Or so I thought, but Mayuri doesn't seem to mind, so I stay out of it. See?
次のページからは水着だ。すごい。露出度高いな。スタイルもすごくいいし、グラビアアイドルみたい。憧れるな。憧れてるの？水着に？僕、こんなにスタイル良くないから。でもね、ルカちゃんはきっと大きなお友達からははぁはぁ言われちゃうよ。
Hey now, Mayuri. What are you saying? It's like you're referring to daughter with that remark.
ね、貧乳は正義なの。だからね、胸なんてなくても自信持っていいんだよ。
Kurisu starts choking on her coffee. Thinking of something in particular, Kurisu? I don't know how she feels. I almost did a spit take with my soda. Mayuri's breasts are huge for her height, so her advice lacks a certain element of persuasion.
そうだ。コミマが終わったら一緒に海に遊びに行こうよ。せっかく夏なんだしね。マユシーもずっとコス作りしてて、夏休みはちっとも遊べてないもん。
Yeah, sure, why not? A beach episode.
ねえねえ、オカリン、クリスちゃん、どうかな？ラボメンのみんなで海。ラボメンのみんな？私は行かないわよ。もう少ししたらアメリカに帰らなきゃ。荷造りもまだしてないから、そんな余裕はない。
確かに。ラボでのんびりと読書をしているほどだからな。よほど余裕がないと見える。
Kurisu snaps her book shut and glares at me.
だったらはっきり言わせてもらう。変態野郎二人と一緒に海水浴なんて言ってられるか？
Okay.
女子メンバー限定というなら喜んで参加させてもらうわ。
素直になったらどうだ、クリスティーナ。私は伝部の猛虎犯を男子に見られたくないので一緒には行けませんと。
Mongolian spot? That's the first time hearing about that. A bluish birthmark commonly found on Asian children. Usually disappears by the age of 5. Really? Bluish birthmark commonly found on Asian children. Huh.
蒙古班なんてないわよ。
そもそも女子メンバー限定ならば、そこのルカ子も無理ではないか。
何それどういう意味？
この前わざわざ教えてやっただろう。ルカ子は正真正銘の男だとな。
Alright, let's see where this conversation is gonna go. We may learn some stuff here. My declaration of the truth faces the air instantly. Huh? There's something off about their reaction.
最悪ね、あんた。女の子に向かって男呼ばわりなんて。
Okay, well, I don't take Kurisu's answer seriously because, well, we could be in a role line where we haven't told Kurisu yet that Lukako is a guy. Because we want to keep the running gag as long as possible until she finds out that Lukako is actually a guy and is like, what? Just like in the previous role lines. I'm interested in Mayuri's reaction though.
そうだよ。オカリ、そういうこと言うのはね、マユシ好きじゃないな。
Okay, it's official. The gender change has worked, I guess. Even Mayuri condemns me. Lukako, meanwhile, turns pale and hangs his head so I can't see his face. Is he crying? Normally he'd get depressed and say something about how embarrassed he'd be to wear a swimsuit, but he wouldn't start crying.
クリスティーナ、お前が現実から目を背けたくなるのはわかる。ルカ子は男でありながら、とても可憐だからな。
岡部
Kurisu's advances on me with a... Kurisu's... Kurisu advances on me with a stern glare. I was thinking, her advances? Is she gonna do that like to Rintaro? Like, right? No, she moves forward with a stern glare.
私にへんてこなあだ名をつけるぐらいなら冗談で済むからいいけど、いや、本当は良くないが。今のあんたの言い草は冗談になってない。他人を傷つけるようなやつじゃないと思ってたけど、違ったみたいね。今のあんたは本気で最低よ。
え？
Oh, what did I do to deserve this tongue lashing?
謝りなさい。今すぐ漆原さんに謝りなさい。
いやいや、謝るも何も。俺は真実しか言ってな。
いいんです。
Lukako gets up from the sofa. His head is still hanging, and his voice is barely audible.
僕、岡部さんにそういう風に見られてたんですね。
いやいやいやいや、そういう風ではなく、ルカ子、お前は男だろ。それとも、お前まで現実逃避に走ったか？
現実逃避してるのはあんただろうが。
そうだよ。ルカちゃんは女の子なのに、オカリひどいよ。
というかマユリよ、なぜお前は急にルカ子への呼び方をルカくんからルカちゃんに変えた？
岡部、いつまで続ける気？彼女は女の子よ。
Mayuri nods in agreement. What's going on here? Is this some kind of prank?
僕、帰ります。
Lukako tries to slip by me out of the lab. I grab his hand to stop him from leaving.
待てルカ子、俺を担ぐのはよせ。お前は正真正銘の男だ。なぜならここに。
Rintaro, are you gonna pull their pants? Oh my god. I pin Lukako's arms and reach for his package. Rintaro, let's see what you're hiding down. Nothing.
Oh?
Alright, well, I guess this is how we're gonna find out that Lukako is a girl in this. Like, in the worst way possible.
おおおおえあれなんで
I feel around some more.
岡部さん、やめてください。
Nothing. Nada. It should be there. I mean, he's a guy, isn't he? An electric current runs through my brain. No way. Yes way. So that's what happened.
ルカ子お前
The demo that I thought had failed was actually a success. And there you go. Rintaro, at least I would have opted to, like, you know, pull their pants down in a, like, and pretend that, it's a prank or something like that, but that's... that was, like, the most fucked up thing that I saw a person do in recent times, I swear.
お前は女なのか
最初からそう言っとるだろ
A half second later, Koiso cracks me over the head with her heavy textbook. When my vision clears, Lukako is crying. Mayuri is rubbing her back comfortably. Kurisu, meanwhile, is glaring down at me like I'm something she scraped off the bottom of her shoe. Daro, who arrived a moment ago, is in the corner, trying not to laugh. Honestly, I can't blame him. A righteous high school girl makes perverted college guy beg for forgiveness. If I had to put a title to the scene, that's what it would be. The top of my head is throbbing. Most likely because Kurisu wiped out 100 million of my precious neurons, envied by scientists that rolled over. I put a moist towel to my head.
一度あんたの頭を切り開いて脳だけ取り出してよく洗浄してやりたい気分よ。できればそのまま体に戻さず培養液の中にぶち込んで一生あんなハレンチな真似できないようにもしてやりたい。とにかく警察に突き出されないだけありがたいと思いなさい。
はい。すいません。
Man, that was dumb. I didn't think he would be gone. Lukako has become a girl. Her face hasn't changed, and she's flat as a board, but she's definitely a girl. There's no denying what my hand didn't feel. I guess that ridiculous superstition was true. If you eat vegetables, you'll have a girl. Does this count as a scientific breakthrough? Anyway, I better apologize to Lukako. I hope she doesn't get PTSD because some pervert, me, groped her. I mean, she's a 70-year-old girl now, and she was shy to begin with. Short for post-traumatic stress disorder. From DSM-4, the 4th edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders published by the American Psychiatric Association in 1994. A mental disorder inducing various stress symptoms caused by the shock of an accident, disaster, or crime. Symptoms include emotional instability, insomnia, confusion, and flashback memories. Diagnose if symptoms continue for over a month. I'll need to be as gentle as humanly possible from now on. Alright, well, I guess this basically confirms that changes do carry over from one role line to another. That's good. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she never spoke to me again. Otherwise, like, the changes that we made to previous role line not carrying over, it would basically make them useless unless we have like some future option to go back to previous roll lines. But if we keep hopping from one roll line to another and never coming back to previous roll lines, then the changes need to be carried over in order to like have them be important changes in the story to discuss. I have no one but myself to blame. I'll just have to accept the consequences.
だいたいなんだって漆原さんが男の子だなんていう妙な妄想に取りつかれたんだ。
それについては前にも言ったはずだ。D メールによる過去改変だよ。ルカ子は男だったが、女の子になりたいという願いをもとに D メールを送り、それは成功した。世界線が変わったその瞬間を、俺は確かに認識していた。すなわち、マガン、リーディングシュタイナーによってな。その点については反省せねばなるまい。俺はもっと自分の持つ特殊な力を信じるべきだったと。
Kariso calmly readies her book above her head.
また食らいたい？
あ、いや、本当なんだ。これについては信じてくれ。この現象を理論立てて説明するとだ。D メールを送るたび、この世界が辿ってきた歴史が変わる。つまり過去が変わる。それを俺の脳は知覚できるのだよ。
I leap to my feet, overcome with excitement.
世界中でこの俺だけが因果率の変化を認識できる。そう。例えるなら、俺はこの世界の観測者ということだ。
I look around, expecting to see awe on their faces. You know, it really occurs to me that in this story, Rintaro is gonna feel more and more lonely with each passing roll line. Like, unless we find a way to make so that others are also aware of changes of the previous roll line, or their consciousness also jump to different roll lines, Rintaro is the only one who's gonna be able to do this. So this is definitely a case of trying to, like, what I think is gonna happen is that when more stuff is gonna happen, more chaos is gonna happen, Rintaro is gonna have a harder and harder time trying to persuade / make people believe that what happened to him is true. It's kind of similar to time loop stories, like Edge of Tomorrow. Well, there are some other stories, but like some other visual novel that I read a long time ago that I like, but it would be a spoiler. But basically, like the protagonist would go into like go in the past, like years ago, with all the knowledge and like the physical prowess that they have, and they basically have to prove that what he's saying is the truth and gather help from people of the past. As such, similar case here.
いいから座れ。
I do as I'm told.
わからないのか？観測者、すなわち量子力学的に言うところのシュレディンガーの猫の実験における箱を開ける人なのだぞ。
Oh boy, Schrodinger's cat. Haven't heard that before. A thought experiment proposed by physicist Erwin Schrödinger. Schrödinger intended it as a paradox that would refute quantum theory, but it has since been proven to not be a paradox. It is often referenced in fiction as an example of the complexities of quantum mechanics. A cat is placed inside a box. The box also contains a vial of poisonous gas and a sample of some radioactive substance. If the radioactive substance emits an alpha particle, it sets off a sensor, releasing the poisonous gas and killing the cat. Assume the radioactive substance has a 50% chance of emitting 1 alpha particle per hour. After 1 hour, you open the box. The cat has a 50-50 chance of being alive or dead. The question is, was the cat alive or dead before you found it? According to Einstein, your observation of the cat's condition is relevant. The cat was either alive or dead before you opened the box.
シュレディンガー？
Yeah, I knew you were gonna ask that, Mayuri.
うわ 出たよ、シュレディンガーの猫。日本人のシュレディンガー好きは異常。
Oh my god, okay, Daro is on the same wavelength as me. And this is 2010.
あんたも日本人だろ。
2010 visual novel, that is.
もううんざりって感じっすわ。猫が可愛いのは認めるがな。
Kiddies? The word kitten, neko, corrupted for cuteness. Used by cat lovers all over the internet. Do you really need like a tip for that? Daro is absolutely right. Whenever an anime wants to use quantum mechanics, the characters always talk about Schrodinger's cat.
とにかく俺はそういう特殊な力を宿す魔眼を持っている。その名をリーディングシュタイナーと呼ぶことについては以前説明した通りだ。
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in Japan there's like a cafe or something among the lines that has like a Schrodinger's cat as a theme. There has to be.
そのリーディングしたいなって名前、バカっぽいからやめろって私も以前言ったはずよね。
Okay, question. How long are we going to be looking at Kurisu's chest right over here? I mean... Okay, I was gonna say something, but I was just gonna shut up.
いかにも和製英語って感じ。漫画の必殺技みたい。文法としては破綻してるし、シュタイナーがシュタインのことなら、前半は英語で、後半はドイツ語とか、むちゃくちゃだわ。
It's kind of the equivalent of what I was talking about like a long time ago when you have like sprites, like full body sprites, in the background, and you have like the text like down with like the transparent box, and there are cases where these characters are wearing bikinis and such, like throughout the entirety of like the session where they all wear bikinis. I have to read the text, and like beyond the text, I always keep seeing like the bottom parts, like the panties and such. I have to keep looking at the panties whenever I'm trying to read right over here. I'm trying to read a book on physics right over here. Don't tempt me with panties.
ちなみにこれはシュタインズゲートだっけ？それにも言える。
まだまだ伝部の猛虎犯が取れぬようだな、クリスティーナよ。
Kurisu, hit him with the book again.
ネーミングは五感がすべて。かの天才、レオナルド・ダ・ヴィンチにも被験する俺の想像力は、文法などというつまらない決まり事に縛られたりはしないのだ。
She hits me again. I'm seeing stars.
少しは反省しろ。
すいません。
Look like always still crying. As punishment, I spend the next 30 minutes on my knees under Kurisu's watchful eye. If I slouch for a second, I get the corner of her book. I'd accept being told, "Die, pervert," if it were coming from Dokako. But why the hell is Kurisu butting in? I didn't do anything to her. She is being very, caring about this. Very, emotionally invested in this particular thing. Have they become friends like so fast in this? Does she think she's one of those class president characters? Or she has a vendetta against perverts in general? Anyway, I flee the lab as soon as my punishment is over. The silent pressure from the girls is just too much to bear. I step into the sun and stretch. My legs are numb from the kneeling, so I can barely stand straight. At that moment, the brown tube workshop door opens, and out comes part-time warrior. Oh good, a face that I haven't seen in a little bit. Alright, well let's see how brown tube is doing here. Our eyes meet.
オース。
Hi. Well, she's less energetic than usual.
なんでそんなふにゃふにゃしてんの？
こういう体操があるのだ。
Yeah, what about you? Why are you so down low? right now.
知らなかったな。
Suzuha answers listlessly as she sits down on a bench. When she aimlessly gazes skyward, I follow suit. Huge clouds are slowly swallowing the blue. A helicopter flies overhead. I can hear its propellers slicing the air.
絶好のサイクリング日和だね。
そうか？
It's so damn hot. How can you exercise on a day like this? The answer... You have no choice. You kinda have to. I'd rather drink hot coffee in a well-air-conditioned room while browsing the net. You kinda have to brute force through it. Otherwise, what? Are you gonna, like, stop cycling through the summer? Now that's a luxurious way to spend summer break. If only the lab had air conditioning.
あのさ、ちょっとサイクリングしない？
Fuck yeah! She has to be joking.
チャーリーは1台しかないではないか。
二人乗りすればいいじゃん。
バイトを放り出していいのか？
Suzuha pops into a store. She's back in less than a minute.
許可取ってきた。どうせ客なんて来ないし。
I try to think of an excuse to refuse, but nothing comes. Oh, you got permission from Mr. Braun like that easily? I mean, clearly that makes me feel like that's another change. Like, Mr. Braun usually wouldn't allow you to just go out like that. You have to stay and work, but in this, I guess they're a little bit more lenient? Well, let me think. Like, I get the thing that Mr. Braun's shop is doing a lot better in this road line than the last one because it's an electronic shop. It would do work. It would do better and all that. So I get the thing that maybe he has like more customers and therefore you need like more employees. So it's not just Suzuha working right over here, but also like some other person that is taking care or he's taking care of stuff. And well, right now it's like, and now where not that many people would come anyway, so maybe he's happy. Maybe Mr. Braun is happier in this, so he doesn't need to get angry if Suzuha just goes away for a little bit.
俺はマッドサイエンティストであってサイクリストではないのだぞ。
Yeah, come on, Rintaro. You should be you know what? You should cycle like once in a while. Come on. Push your muscles.
なのになぜ俺がお前を後ろに乗せて漕がなければならないのだ。
You need to exercise, you fuck.
その昔、アリストテレスが言いました。時間は運動の数であるってね。だから運動した方がいいよ。
That doesn't make sense. I'm exhausted. We barely made it to the station. I'd die if I went another block. Hold on, Suzuha. Please let me take a breather as I'm reading my messages right over here. And then she's like, okay, but no doom scrolling. I mean, there's no such thing as doom scrolling, like, in this time period yet. Maybe checking, like, forums and such would make you scroll for, like, minutes on end too, so maybe it's not exclusive. It's not as... it can be similar to socials or whatever. Mayuri? Luka-chan said she'll forgive you if you cosplay Kakeru-kun from Rainet. Or maybe Upa cosplay would be better. No. Just kidding. Leave Lukako-chan to Mayushi. I mean, I'm open to seeing Rintaro in a cosplay. I haven't seen Rainet, so I don't know what Kakeru-kun cosplay looks like. Why do I get a feeling that that's a lie in this role line? Like, okay, Rintaro himself would be honest and say that he hasn't seen Rainet, but maybe in this role line, this role line's Rintaro has seen it and has more experience with Rainet. Hell, he said in his narration that that he and Mayuri have switched with Daro, like in the Rainet competition, and fought against Faris, so he would at the very least have some experience there as well.